Happy New Year, Happy Friday, Happy Meal. What is in common? We say happy more than any other word in the English language. New Year, Friday, a $4 meal with a toy in it. In all that repetition, the word loses its meaning. And that's the exact problem when it is asked for a real response. How can I be happy? I get to sit in a room with very successful people and watch them reflect on questions that nobody asked them, not in primary school, high school, or even university or at home, unless they are a philosophy major. This happened recently in one of my workshops. I asked everyone in the room the same 6 questions. Someone said, "Oh yeah, I've been thinking about maybe one of those questions quite often." And then one person said, "Well, these 6 questions are the ones I ask myself every day." And another person says similar things. So what were the questions? Who am I? What do I do with my life? Where do I belong? How can I be happy? How do I make the right choices? What's the point of striving when life is so short? Here's the thing, these are not new questions. The late Dr. Paul Wong, one of the founders of the existential positive psychology, said that these are the 6 existential questions that human beings ask all the time, whether they say it out loud or not. What do you notice if you look at the list closely? Only one of those questions is about being happy. The other 5 are asking something deeper: identity, direction, belonging, decision-making, meaning. Happiness is there, but it's not the whole list. Some of these are asking whether you belong to something. Some are asking whether you are heading somewhere. We are wired for this. As human beings, meaning-seeking and meaning-making is our innate capability. Most of us, though, treat these 6 questions like puzzle pieces. Something to solve once and then move on with other things. But meaning doesn't work that way. It isn't sitting somewhere waiting for you to find it. It is built, one choice, one moment, one experience at a time, over and over, day after day. I saw what happened when we forget that, when we stop holding all these questions and rather collapse them into one thing, and even worse, to call it happiness. And that's where the problem is. I saw this for years. Back in the days when I was still doing counseling, I saw many couples in crisis. They would come to the counseling room and bring along a lot of problems, issues, and they would say something like that: "I don't know why my marriage is so difficult. All I want is to be happy." At the time, I understood it as the pain talking. Looking back, I think that sentence was the root of the distress that none of us realize. They weren't asking, "Where do I belong?" or "What's the point of all these struggles?" The deeper questions underneath everything. They collapsed everything into that one word, happy. And when a marriage or a job doesn't deliver that state of being happy, it feels like it's evidence that something is broken. Nothing was broken. The target was too small. Working through a real issue, whether in a marriage or in a job, is what builds understanding and growth. But that only happens if you let yourself feel the friction long enough to learn something from it. When we reach for something else to mask the discomfort or to avoid the pain, rather than going through it, we don't skip the pain. We just relocate it. Usually it will come back stronger and bigger. I had a participant in one of my workshops that made this real for me. She is a young professional, doing very well in her job. She treasures her family of origin very much, and she made it her life goal to build an actual village. A place where her parents, step-parents, and siblings can all live together and build their businesses close to each other. They will live side by side, and they don't just visit occasionally. They support each other day after day. Living together within walking distance, supporting each other regularly. She doesn't know how that exactly would happen, but she already knows how it fits together perfectly. Her past, that's her family, her present, her working and saving hard, and her future, that she is walking toward. Psychologists call that coherence, a life that makes sense for the person who are living it. For the young participant, that sense of coherence when she links her past, her present, and the future together is deeply meaningful for her. And it's not just for her, it's the whole village. Her family, her neighbors, the community, the businesses side by side. That's significance, mattering something much, much bigger than her own life. She may not get there for years. When I asked her, how do you envision this happening? She said, I don't know exactly, but I will try, work hard, and save as much as I can. It is her hope that one day in the near future, she would buy a piece of land. She is building that vision anyway. That's purpose. That's the direction that pulls you forward before you can even see the destination. Not everyone finds their village. Or it may not be a village that you want to build. So find that something bigger than yourself, a grand purpose that you want to strive for. You can have a life that looks good on paper but still lacks meaning. That's usually where restlessness live, and a lot of people will try to distract themselves when they feel restless. People may look for distractions to fill that void. Here's what I noticed sitting with a story like hers. The answers to these 6 questions naturally emerge. Who am I? She's a daughter, sister, builder, a visionary. And at work, she's an art director. Where do I belong? She belongs to that community, the one she has committed her energy to build. What should I do with my life? Not just a 5-year plan. She has this grand cause, something that's much bigger than she herself alone. How can I be happy? Even when she is going through the journey, she may find it fulfilling and she may feel happiness. But when she actually sees that village built, she'll be more than happy, I'm sure. But notice, the happiness is not something that she is chasing. It is a result of the dream that she built, or the result of seeing how satisfied everybody one is. It is what happens along the way. How do I make the right choices? Every decision, where to work, how to spend money, how to prioritize, all these decisions will be tested against that one big life goal. What's the point of striving when life is so short? She doesn't know how long she'll live. Neither do I. She is trying her best to live her life so that she can reach that life goal. This is where she finds it meaningful. The journey itself is the treasure. Continuing to work towards that life goal is the most fulfilling and meaningful to her. One story, all the 6 existential questions, she had the answer for. Not in theory, but she's actually living it. This is part of what we do in the Purpose Alignment Lab, helping people shape their dreams and put that in words, or try to facilitate them to put their vision together so that it is clear enough for them to understand their place in this world and where they find meaning. This is the most exciting part of my work, sitting with high-functioning, ambitious, successful professionals, reflecting on the deepest questions about life to help them gain clarity. I don't get to hand anyone the answer, but I get to watch them build it, the way she is building her village. One choice, one conversation, one Saturday morning at a time. If you are carrying one of these 6 questions right now, you are looking beyond being happy. That's not dysfunction, that's human. You don't need an answer tonight. You are invited to continue cultivating meaning making around significance, coherence, and purpose. Of the 6 questions, which one do you carry the most? I love to hear that in the comments. We'll see you in other videos.